Welcome to the Wavy Digital Desk. We're here today. Happy New Year to everyone. We're going to be talking about the Norfolk Fire-Rescue annual recruitment campaign that is just getting started and will be running through the beginning of February. We have Battalion Chief Glen Williams, here with us today. And if you all were back EMS week last year, he joined us as well to sort of talk about that part of it, which we will also mention in this, that is both fire and EMS cross training. So I'm going to bring Glen on now. Glen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
You all really jump in the new year with this. So it started yesterday and it's going to go through February 7th. But can you just tell us a little bit about this annual period that happens each year?
Yes. So we are, as you said, we just started our recruitment drive yesterday, and we're going to February 7th. That's for the application process. But once the process of the application closes, then the fun begins, and that's when we have to start getting everybody in here to get, perform a written test. And there's a lot of hoops to go through to become a firefighter. Really, no matter what city you're going for, but it's a long process, but it's well worth it. So
Right.
we're just gearing up for that time of year again.
And then this is the recruitment period, as you said, and then you're going to go into that training period next, depending on applicants or so forth. But can you just tell us a little bit about the recruitment timeline right now, so people can get in their applications within the next month? And then you all are having 2 open house events. Where is that a great opportunity for people to learn more, to interact with people already in the department? What are those like?
Absolutely. So we are having 2 open houses for those that are sort of unfamiliar with our job. They can come in there. The first one is next Tuesday, a week from today, January 9th, from 5 to 9 at our training center, which is located at 7120 Granby Street. It's right at the corner of Granby and Thole, across from Granby High School. So that'll be the first one next Tuesday evening, and there they'll be able to. We'll have tables set up, and they'll be able to learn about. One of the tables will be for a day in the life of a firefighter. They can talk to some of the firefighters that are with us and learn exactly what it's like and what we do on a daily basis. One of the other tables will be our city benefits personnel. They'll be there to discuss all the benefits that you get that go along being as a firefighter for the city of Norfolk. We'll have a table with some women firefighters that can discuss what it's like to be a woman in public safety. We'll also have a table with a couple of people from we have a physical fitness committee, and they'll be there to discuss how important it is to maintain your physical fitness in this type of work. And they'll also explain what we do as a department to help maintain physical fitness and also mental well-being. That has become a popular topic in our profession. So we have a committee for that as well, and they'll discuss all of those benefits that are available to each and every firefighter with our city. We'll also have a mini agility course set up that is part of the physical agility test that you have to take. It's one of the requirements, and it is a timed pass and fail test to make sure that you are physically capable to do the job, because some of the tasks can be very daunting. So you have to be physically fit to perform the functions of a firefighter. So, and then last but not least, there'll be other people there to help you start your application if you want to actually fill out an application at the open house.
So a lot's there. I mean, it sounds like you can get resources to help you whether you are more familiar or not. Is that correct? So people
That
from
is
sort
correct.
of all
That is correct.
backgrounds.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We want to make sure that, for those that are unsure of the career, that they can get all the necessary information. And for those that are ready and they want to apply, but they don't have the means to be able to do so, they can come in and apply at the training center.
And would you encourage people to attend, even if maybe they're on the edge, they're a little bit more, I don't want to say nervous, because I know that you all have a team that needs to be, strong and sure, going into certain circumstances. But if they don't really know if they're interested, but really just want to come out and learn more, is this opportunity for them as well?
Well, absolutely, because there will be multiple firefighters there that will be able to talk to these people if they're unsure, and either give them some suggestions or give them some of the answers to the questions that they may have. So there will be those types of resources there. If they're unsure, the other thing they can do is stop by a fire station and just see what it's like when you're actually at a fire station, see what the crews do, and just stop in for a visit and talk to the people there. And anybody would be happy to give them a tour and let them see what the fire station life is all about.
And just in terms of the age requirement, you do have to be 18. But for people that are younger, that maybe are looking forward to either next year or the year after that to join, I guess what would you say to them, just in terms of you stopping by the station or just learning more?
Well, yes, you do have to be 18 at the time of application. We've had that question asked by a lot of people. What if you turn 18 during the process? You have to be 18 when you physically are filling out the application. So unfortunately, for those that are just shy of that but wanting to do it, they have to wait till the next process. But if they know that that's what they want to do, I encourage them to just stay fit and just keep watching for the recruitment drives that happen, and your time will come. Me personally, I knew when I was very young that it's just something I wanted to do. So yes, you gotta wait till you're 18, but it comes quick.
And that's special. I mean, just personally, if you don't mind, for that person that just knows they're ready, this is a great opportunity to just jump right in, really, and visit the open houses, get to know you all during the application process.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's everybody that will be there. We have what's called a recruitment committee, and everybody that will be there is excited and want to help new people come aboard and share the experiences that we have.
And I want to talk a little bit about the department for people that don't know, that maybe are watching this or seeing this later on wavy.com, to know a little bit about what you all do, because I do think that, and maybe it's not unique to, any station in the country, but here you all really do operate, you're cross-trained, you also operate in different environments, water, different beach, we have more urban areas and then the suburbs. So it does seem that you all sort of are able to sort of cover and conquer a lot.
Absolutely. Well, piece of history here, Norfolk Fire-Rescue is actually one of the oldest fire departments in our nation. We started back in 1871. So we are by far the oldest in our region. So we have a lot of history and a lot of tradition here at Norfolk Fire-Rescue. Like you said, we are also, as you said, surrounded by water, but we have the most diverse calls, and actually we run the most emergency calls out of any city in our area. We're a very busy department, which for those that want to actually be firefighters and help people, that's your opportunity. We have a lot of calls here. We're a very busy city, and we have the diverse emergency incidents in Norfolk that most people just don't see, because we've got light rail, we've got cruise ship terminal, we've got the Norfolk International Terminal through the Port Authority, we've got Naval Station Norfolk, we've got 3 universities, we're surrounded by water, we've got an international airport, you name it. For what seems to be a small circumference of a city, we have a whole lot here. So it definitely is a experience every day when we're on the street here. There's never the same call.
Right. And then
that's what makes it so, exciting.
absolutely. And then you also have that connection with, as you're talking about, Trauma One Center. So you all are operating that pre-hospital care,
Yes.
for them. I mean, can you just talk a little bit? I know that you and I have discussed the EMS side, but just
Yes.
a little bit about that piece of it, because that's really a big part of your training as well.
Absolutely. So each firefighter, we are also all considered to be medics as well. We train up to the second highest level of emergency medical technician training in the state of Virginia, which is the advanced EMT. So there's advanced EMT, and then there's a paramedic, which is the next one, the highest level that you can reach. So you have to be one of those 2 levels, and we train you up to the advanced level. And everybody's at the advanced level, we start IVs on people. We administer drugs intravenously. It is advanced life care, and everybody is at that minimum requirement. We also take turns riding on the ambulance as well as on the fire trucks. So not every day you'll be on an ambulance. Some days you'll be on a fire truck for 24 hours, but if you are on the ambulance, you'll ride that for 12 hours, and then the other half of your shift is on one of the fire trucks. So
Well,
it's we call it, we're cross trained, and I think that's, it's one of the great benefits of the job is you're doing a lot of everything. You're helping people in various ways.
right. And then, going forward, this is what some of that training process will be, of course, after the recruitment period ends and they're accepted. For people that, are sort of looking forward to that next part, if they were to get accepted, can you just talk a little bit about what that training process is like? Do they go through a specific sort of academy steps to sort of get to being active in the department, or what is sort of some of the steps there?
So the fire academy is approximately 9 months long. Um, we are looking to recruit 50 firefighters for this recruitment process. And out of that recruitment drive, when we get 50 firefighters, when they start the academy, we'll split them into two different groups. And one group will start the EMT portion, and the other group will start the firefighter portion. And the EMT portion is a little bit longer than the fire portion, so maybe 5 months of that and 4 months of the fire department training. So once, right around the same time, they kind of merge. Once they graduate from each class that they're in, then they switch, and that's how we do the cross training. And it takes, like I said, it takes about 9 months to do.
And I imagine there is also a lot of learning on the job that happens just with experience and situations. You all do have a younger group, but you also do have people, I think, even maybe in the past 2 weeks on Facebook, you had somebody retire after, I think, 27 years. So you
Yes.
all have people that have been with the department for a long time. I mean, can you just tell us a little bit maybe about that mentorship aspect or sort of, that team aspect that happens?
Absolutely. 27 years is almost our average right now for some of our seasoned veterans. We have our current acting fire chief he's got 41 years with our department. We've got another firefighter in our fire marshal's office. He's going on, I believe it's 44 years with our fire
Wow.
department. We have several people that are 35 plus years. It's actually amazing. So our you know range of people that have been with this department is all over the place. We've got a ton of new recruits that have graduated within the last 2-3 years, and then we've like I said, up to the 40-year mark. So we have a lot of mentors. But when you mention about training, we train every single day. There is no call that's a duplicate. We've got chiefs here that will tell us that they've never experienced that before in their 40-year career. They've learned something new. So the profession is always evolving and always changing. So we're very fortunate to have people with that many years of experience in our department to keep guiding us in the right direction.
Right, and
So
that must speak to, the mission or sort of, their longevity must speak to the department as well, wanting to
absolutely,
be there
it
and be a
does.
part of it.
Yes, yeah, for sure. When you think about somebody who's been with this department almost as their entire adult lifehood and are still willing to stay, that tells you exactly how well the job is here.
Well, a few more questions, but before we wrap up, I do want to say first, for those people, and we talked a little bit about, the physical agility required in this
Yes.
month prep or, prep before the academy starts, if they were to get in, what should they be doing? Just keeping as fit as possible, just, keeping on top of that, so that they can come in, I guess, ready to go when everything begins.
Yes, I think probably the biggest challenge or the biggest difficulty is cardiovascular, making sure that your cardiovascular, walking on a treadmill, on an incline, or going to say Mount Trashmore or somewhere where there's a lot of steps, or an apartment building nearby that where you can literally, try walking stairs, and it's just a lot of leg strength with cardiovascular involved, because fire gear, we actually did a little study on it, and it roughly weighs about 68 pounds with all the fire gear, with your SCBA tank and your mask and your radio, and that doesn't include the tools. Then you have to carry some tools as you're going up the stairs. So that's probably one of the most physically demanding parts of the job, is going upstairs with all that equipment. Other types of things that they can do is upper body strength, using axes to cut holes in roofs and stuff like that. So that it's that upper body strength that you will need as well. So just overall physical fitness is very important. But I would say cardiovascular is probably the big ticket that will get you either in or disqualify you.
Great tips. And then, going into it, do you all have a timeline for when applicants will hear back, or is that sort of an open period?
So we haven't discussed. Well, let me explain. There's certain steps that you will take once the application has been completed, and the application process closes on February 7th. Then our Human Resources Department will reach out to all the applicants. If they're eligible and have completed the application properly, they will then get invited to a written test, which it's a general aptitude test. It's not something you need to study for. It's just a general knowledge test, which everybody will take. And based on the grades that everybody gets, that will determine whether they get invited to the next step, which will be the physical agility test. So the physical agility test will probably be within a week or two after the written test. And then once they complete those two steps, then we will create our list and start going through the list and start interviewing. They have to get fingerprinted. They have to do a psychological evaluation test. Our fire marshals will then do a background check on them from their application that they filled out, checking references, prior jobs, just a little bit of everything, digging deep into them, because we want to make sure everybody's character and application is who they really are. Then near the end of the process, they have to do a
No problem.
a polygraph test. And then finally, the last part of it is a medical evaluation to make sure they're fit for duty. And part of that medical evaluation is a physical agility test on a treadmill. And that's where I was talking about earlier, your cardiovascular, making sure you're getting out and jogging or walking or doing stairs or something like that. That will really help prepare you for the last part of the process. Once all of that is then done, then we make our selections and everybody will be notified. Probably, I would say in the June, just before, June time area is when they will be notified of whether they are selected for the position. And the fire academy will then begin in August.
And it's, rightfully, a process for you all to figure out who are the best people to bring into the department. Then you did mention the number, but how many do you try to start with in the academy, going forward?
50. We're looking to hire 50 going forward. So, and on average, unfortunately, we do lose a few every academy based on either grades during the emergency medical technician classes. Some of that can be very challenging. The educational portions of that, or the physical fitness portion of it during the fire academy. So, my recommendation for all of that would be just make sure you're in shape and ready to go, and make sure you fill out your application properly. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email the HR link on there for assistance on filling out their application.
Absolutely. Well, Glenn, thank you so much. And I just want to repeat, if you don't mind, just some details for anyone who tuned in later or is watching this later. So I want to start by saying, the recruitment period Submit your applications now through February 7th. And then there are 2 open house events. I'm just going to read off the details. Tuesday, January 9th is the first one from 5 to 9 p.m. And then Saturday, January 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then both, correct me if I'm wrong, but Norfolk Fire-Rescue Training Center, as you said, 7120 Granby Street. And I'll put this all in the details as well so that people can go, right to the information on wavy.com and connect with your sites and resources. But Glen, I mean, is there anything else that you want to add, just going forward for people to know during this period?
The only thing I will tell you is, and I know I told you this the last time we were together, is for me, it's been the most rewarding career I could have ever imagined. I've been here for 22 years now, and I still enjoy coming to work. Clearly, we're trying to get other people that will love the job as much as we do. You get to save people's lives and make a difference in your career. You get to join a team, and what we call, not even a team, we call it a family. And it's a great job with great benefits, job security. It's been very, very rewarding for me. So I'm hoping that other people will see this and be like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. I don't really know many negatives about this job, unfortunately. So.
Definitely. Well, we hope that people, you see this message, see all the work that you all do every day and have, a passion for it to join you all. But Glen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And I'll let you get back to it. As you said, every day is different. So I'm sure
Yes.
there's something. But thank you so much for spending some time this afternoon with
Thank you,
us.
Sarah. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
All right, you too. Take care.